NPC is a national body conducts national level energy efficiency examination on behalf of Bureau of Energy Efficiency, Government of India. You will also appreciate the fact the NPC is having Center of Excellence for Training in Energy Efficiency, operates from AIP, Chennai, to serve the Indian and South Asian region. Now the topic is, if you see the energy conservation in buildings, to understand the primary energy consumption. What do you mean by primary energy consumption? Basically, whatever you get directly from earth crust is your primary fuels, like oil, gas, and coal are the primary fuels. And if you see the world's total primary energy consumption, all the 85% is coming from the fossil fuels. If you are using fossil fuels, one is it is not continuous, it will come only for certain time, and it also has certain effect on the environment called as greenhouse gas emissions. If you see the world's total primary energy consumption in my slide, 85% of the energy we are getting from oil, gas, and coal, and whereas 15% from the other sources of energy. However, if you see India's primary energy consumption, 753.7 million tons of oil equivalent as on 2017. If you see, coal is the predominant fuel among all the three, and India shares to around 9.4%. It is fifth largest country which is having the share of coal. But if you see the consumption part, it is the second largest in terms of coal consumption. First is China. And where the coal is going to, basically most of the coal what we are excavating or importing from other countries is going to the power utilities. That is to contribute to almost around 66% from power utilities, and for captive power generation around 80%. That means roughly around 75% of the coal is going for power generation. That is the reason Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climatic Change issued a directive in 2016 that it requires washing of coal to increase the efficiency of and remove the refuse coal present, because when it is mined, it will be having some amount of refuse. The other fossil fuel which is having a demand is oil. If you see the statistics of our figure, we have an oil resource of 604.1 million tons, whereas our production, that means indigenously, we produce only 40.4 tons of oil, whereas our consumption is 221.8 million tons. So we are nowhere meeting our requirement with our own production. That is the reason we have 80% of the imports coming from other countries. That means you are sending your dollar currency out to purchase your oil, and it is very difficult to understand that RP ratio, the reserves to production ratio. If our consumption of oil is continuing the same, we will be having only oil for 15 years. Now, where is this oil is consumption going for? Maximum to our diesel and petrol. There is commercial consumption. You see, industry is only 5%. 54% is going for resellers and retailers. Now, if you see the electricity part, which is the topic of the day, energy conservation in buildings, out of the total electricity generated from the primary energy, that means our coal is being used in the power plants to generate electricity, and that electricity, 40% of the total electricity is going for industry, whereas if you see the domestic and commercial sector is, that means buildings, domestic and commercial buildings is consuming around 33% of the energy, which is equivalent to industry. So normally, when you call about energy efficiency, the country's emphasis will be more on industry. But if you see 40% is industry, and domestic and commercial buildings is contributing to almost around 33%. I would like to bring you some facts about the building sector, which you will be appreciating. Building sector in India is experiencing unprecedented growth. That is, it has around 208 million tons of energy consumption and 31% of the total electricity consumption. This has been recently studied in the year 2017 by Niti Aayog team. Within the commercial sector, if you talk only about the commercial sector, like buildings, malls, hospitals, your software centers, the current built-up area is around 1.4 billion square meters and is expected to increase by another 2.2 billion square meters for the next 20 years. The study is being conducted. The study is being conducted by Alliance of Energy Efficiency and Economy, sponsored by Bureau of Energy Efficiency in the year 2017. Further, with the increase of climatic change, that means with the increase of global temperature, there is an increase in high demand to meet the cooling demand of the building. So in this current scenario, like business as usual scenario, energy consumption pattern is going to face two challenges. One is the inefficient stock lock-in period. Already constructed buildings is being constructed with inefficiency. That is we are going to bear that inefficiency for another 30-40 years. And to meet this inefficiency, we are generating power from non-renewable energy sources, which will add greenhouse gases, like affecting our climatic change and carbon footprint of the building adversely. Now, added to this, the residential sector electricity consumption, if you follow the same business as usual scenario, it is predicted that it is going to increase 8 times by 2050. If unaddressed and unimplemented, the building sector has a major repercussions on Indian economy and also on environment. It is estimated that 1.2 gigatons of carbon dioxide emissions will be locked in the mid-century. And now we are seeing, we are all locked in houses trying to talk over web. These are all man-made things of industrialization and also maybe different industrial development. 1.2 gigatons of carbon dioxide emissions will be locked. And the implication will be the national missions like power to all, housing for all, smart city missions will be hampered. This is the report given in 2013. This provides the context of imbibing energy efficiency in the current and future building stock for the acknowledging as a resources in the building. If you clearly my voice is clear now? Yeah. If you see the energy balance of any building, 38%, the major energy gadgets in any building will be air conditioning, lighting, and if it is like any hospital or any hotel, LPG will be used for cooking. Now, if you see the chiller part, that means the air conditioning part, to meet the cooling demand, of the building, chillers is the major share, that is around 38%. And if you see, normally chiller is one which produces the chilled water. The chilled water is being recirculated to the different stages of the building to AHUs. And AHU is also a part of a chiller. If you see, AHU is contributing to 50% and 38% is the chiller. If you see as an air conditioning load, almost around 50% of the energy goes to the air conditioning load and 10% goes to the commercial lighting load. Buildings annually consume about 30 to 35% of the energy that is being generated in the India. Now I would like to tell you some facts. The energy demand, what is the potential saving what is the energy saving potential in buildings. If you see my slide, if you see, the study is being conducted by Energizing, a joint report of Niti Aayog and the Institute of Energy Economics, Japan, conducted for India for various sectors: building, industry, transport, pumps and tractors, telecom, cooking. If you see the baseline as 2012, if you continue the same inefficiencies inbuilt in the buildings, from 239 by 2047, it will go to 297. That means 2,971 terawatt hours or 2,971 giga kilowatt hours. But if you see, there is an ambitious, ambitious figure that this 2971 can be reduced to 2450 by bringing energy efficiency or energy audits or energy efficient equipment or energy conservation building codes. That means bringing the efficiency during the construction itself can be done. By doing all these things, there is a saving of around 22% in building alone. So that means the existing scenario by 2012, all the buildings are having a efficiency potential, or the energy performance index of the building can be improved by 25% when compared to the baseline. Now, if you see the electricity demand, the same report has given also the electricity demand of India. If you see the per capita energy consumption, what do you mean by per capita energy consumption? Per person in a year, how much is the energy it is consumed? Now our figure is 1075 kilowatt hours in the year 2015 and 16. Now if you see, it is being projected that the same figure will go up to 3,581 to 3,558 kilowatt hours if it is scenario. Here also, if you see, the electricity demand can be reduced in the buildings, can be reduced by 22% if you are going for energy audits, if you are going for energy efficient technologies available, if you are bringing in energy efficiency during the construction of the building. I would like to update you that Bureau of Energy Efficiency, which is a statutory body under Government of India, has brought ECBC codes for commercial building sector in the year 2017. Now, as a center body, it has brought on this energy conservation building codes. Now, each state has to modify the ECBC codes depending upon their environmental conditions. 2017, it may take another 5-6 years. All these 5-6 years, we are constructing inefficient buildings. So if you bring down efficiency during construction or efficiency during operation, that will be a additional benefit as a economy. Now you see the growth of commercial building sector for the coming 10 years. The report is being given by Alliance of Energy Efficiency and Economy. Hospitals, hotels, offices, retails, institutions, and religious buildings. Another 10 years, there is going to be an addition of 88.63 million square meters for hospitals and around 114.87 by another 20 years in hospital. The same way for hotels, offices. That means there is a continuous growth of addition of commercial building sector to the economy. Right. Now, if you see, for hospitals, normally for any building, the energy performance index is being given by the square foot area, total energy consumed per square foot area. This will be different because hospitals will be working for 24 hours, hotels 24 hours, office buildings 9 to 5, Like BPO, you will be having a 3-shift operation, retail sectors, education. The standards has been set. It is estimated that 1,400 million square meters together is consuming around 71 billion units of electricity annually. And it is estimated that there is a potential saving of 25 to 30%, 28% of savings in energy efficiency. That means, what do you mean? If you take, if I am getting, if any MSME unit or a medium scale unit is getting a bill of 1 crore, if I am able to do some energy conservation interventions by doing some energy audit, by operational changes, I will be in a position to reduce my energy bill by 75 lakhs. That means there is a reduction of energy bill. It not only saves the money for the unit owner, but also improves the productivity and better margins in the market and reduces GHG emission, which is very, very essential. To meet, to, to attain this type of energy efficiency or to meet such goals, one of the tool that can be used very easily without much difficulty is ISO 50001. Energy management standard, you know that there are various standards available for quality, for environment. So this standard has been brought by the same international organization, and it is being brought in the year 2011, and it is been nomenclated as ISO 50001 2011, and now it is called as ISO 50001 2018 because there are small revisions that has been done. How we do the continuous improvement in the same standard also, there are certain modifications done. Now, what is this energy management system? It is very easy to say to any owner, you replace your old inefficient equipment with a new efficient equipment, but it costs him and the capex has to be invested. But whereas if you go for any management system, it can be achieved by managing the operational changes, by doing improvements in the existing system, by doing adjustments in your operation, by changing how you are doing. Just by changing your methodology, you will be in a position to grab at least the 10% low-lying fruits without cost or no cost. With cost or no cost, or with many minor cost, you can achieve the low-lying fruits. Right? The basic fundamental management system is the PDCA: plan, do, check, and act. Now, I would like to bring to your notice here, energy management system, if you would like to implement in any of your organization, it is a set of interrelated or interacting elements of an organization to establish a policy. First of all, you should understand in energy management system, if I am going to reduce the load, or if I am going to change best efficiency lighting in my building, it will consume less power, it will give low heat. Not only it reduces my lighting power, but also you will reduce the load on my air conditioner. That is also my interacting element. That means when you are doing any energy audit, there are certain interacting elements that will happen. That means by reducing my lighting load, there is also a reduction of AC load because the heat added because of light is being reduced. So all these things can be very easily captured, documented in energy management system. As I know, what is this? What are the various benefits? It improves the efficiency of the building. Now, if I go by small changes in operation, I reduce my energy bill and also improve my energy performance index of the building. It reduces my energy cost and increase the profitability. It reduces the greenhouse gases, carbon footprint, and protect environment as a overall globe. It secures energy supply and it conforms to new and stricter legislations. Now everybody will be getting a doubt. We have so many ISO standards. Now a new standard is coming. How it is compatible? It can be very easily compatible because you have a quality standard, you have an environmental standard 14001, and that can be easily compatible with these standards. Right, all the quality standards, washers, environment, and energy, because it should not become a liability to you that I should maintain again another manual. All these four, if your organization is already ISO 9001, washers 18001, and ISO 50001, if you would like to integrate, it can be integrated into a one single manual and very easy to do. Now the question comes, what are the requirements in general? You should you should set up your system in accordance with the standard. Now the basic thing is, what is the scope and what is the boundary? If you are having a, a university campus, or if you are having a building, if you are having a mall, if you are having a hospital, and in hospital there are 4 or 5 annexed buildings, you can set continuously one by one, slowly you can set up for one building as a one boundary and fix up the scope. I would like to concentrate only on air conditioner. Then you can slowly improve the air conditioning efficiency. Then next you can go for lighting. So it is up to you. There is no hard and fast rule that you should go like this only. You should cover all your building. It is, even if you are, if you would like to test and try, you can just apply it for a kitchen as a scope and boundary, and you can implement. There is no hard and fast rule that you should apply for the complete building and you should invest so much of money, right? Now the basic thing is plan, do, check, and act. First of all, you should identify the major energy consuming gadgets of your building. Who are the significant factors? Now if you see, just now we have seen a slide that in a building almost around 50 to 60% is air conditioner. If I am the owner of a building, I will be interested to concentrate on air conditioning load, because my 60% of the energy is going to AC. If I am able to reduce even 5%, 6%, there will be a very good reduction of my overall bill. Once I identify the area, implementation and operation, once you implement it, then you need to check and monitor whether the implementation results are proper and take action accordingly. Energy policy. First of all, you should set up your own energy policy. Maybe you would like, if you are getting a 1 crore of energy bill, now you can target to have, or your objective may be 5% reduction of the bill. To reduce that 5% of your, that is your objective, to reduce that 5% of your building, what are all the various targets? Maybe on the air conditioner, maybe on your lighting system, maybe on your lifting operation, maybe on your pump operation. You can give individual targets, segregate it to individual thing. Then you implement your operation, you implement your action plan. Then once you implement, you check whether it is going in the right direction or not. You monitor the progress. Any correction or any preventive action required, you can do it. Conduct an internal audit. Internal audit is the terminology used in the first version of, in the year 2011 when ISO 50001 has brought in. They used it to call as internal audit. The only change is, instead of internal audit, they named it as an audit. After a certain period, maybe after 3 months or 4 months, you do a management review just to see whether my target, whether all my targets are moving to reach my single objective agenda. Now, what is the difference between a target and an objective? If you see here, objective is a larger goal. To achieve that objective, you will be having a smaller targets. Now, my objective here is to reduce my energy bill by 5%. Now I can have target on air conditioner, I can have a target on my lighting system, I can have a target on my pumping system, right? To be very clear, the reduce, you see here an example. Reduce total energy usage in kilowatt hours by 25%. My objective is in a year, when compared to 2012, the base year is 2012. By 2013, I would like to reduce my total kilowatt hour consumption by 25%. This much I cannot be doing in one single area. Now it is better to scatter this much of target into this much of objective into individual targets. Now the target here, the first target is reduce the average electrical demand by 30 kilowatt when compared to baseline. And next is I would like to reduce the natural gas consumption by 10% when compared to the baseline. This is how you can segregate your target and objectives. But saying that it is not so easy, you should be very smart when you are keeping your objectives and targets. Why smart? Because smart is the first is specific. What exactly do you want to achieve is to be very, very clear as a top management role. If you would like to achieve anything, whether it is measurable, whether your goals are measurable, you should be in a position to measure the achievement. Whatever objective you kept a target, whether it is practically achievable, whether it is relevant to the target, and whether it is time bound or not. Right? For example, I have a reciprocating chillers in my building. If I would like to convert into a screw chillers, it requires some investment, and top management needs the investment to be pumped in. Now, if top management is not ready, because top management has different other priorities, and because it has a production is mind, raw materials in mind, market in mind, marketing department is in mind. Now, if they are not giving that much fund for you, then it is not able to finish your target in time bound. So you should be very smart in keeping your objectives and targets. And there are certain factors that you should be setting to be taken care. One is the current business condition and business goals. Whether now in this condition of your lock-in period, now you kept the target of 10% reduction. Practically not possible. You don't know how many days this lock-in period is going to continue. Industries are shut down. So you should be also very careful in setting your target. Of course, this is business not usual scenario. Energy use and consumption opportunities to be identified and reviewed. Then financial restrictions, as I discussed, top management may be having a different priority. It may not be interested to pump money for you. Then technological options available. You may be interested to change, but the technology should be available with you. And operational conditions. Then legal requirements is now, which is very relevant to an Indian context, because we are also parallelly having this PAT scheme running, and buildings is also one of the designated consumer. If you are a designated consumer under PAT scheme, your target or objective should be to meet that. So you should also know that you are under certain legal binding with government of India that you should reduce maybe 5% or 6%. You should not keep 2% as an objective, because you have a legally binding requirement on the other hand to meet the requirement, right? Now, the identification of energy and review, past and present energy usage. First of all, anything to do, you would like to assess yourself where you are standing. So first of all, if you would like to reduce your energy bill of any commercial building, or for that matter, any building, even you should know where you are standing. So that is called as a baseline. First of all, you should conduct a baseline audit for your agent, for your building. Then identify the significant energy usage. If you see this graph, there are 8% of energy consuming by chilled water pumps. LPG is 6%, and other consumptions are the 12%. Lighting is 9%. Whatever the efforts, if I am keeping on lighting, pumping, and this thing, totally may I get around 3%. But my significant energy consumption is chillers. If I am able to put all my efforts, it's like You are having a blue-eyed boy in your team, so you should encourage him so that he will get more business for you. The same way, you have to concentrate on one area which will give more savings for you. In this case, chillers. In this case, chillers. Estimate the future energy use. What will be the future energy consumption? Identify the personnel who have significant impact on energy usage. Now, if you see ranking of identified priorities, you might have chalked down 10 to 12 energy conservation options to be implemented in your building. But for me, I will be interested without cost or with a minimal cost, without cost or with a very minimal cost, if I am able to save some amount of energy, that is priority for me, because it gives me savings from the time where I am able to change the operation just by operational changes. Integrate with existing energy improvement projects, then you have to rank your measures high, low, and medium. For your interest, I have just brought a small case study to understand what is this operational changes and how to bring in this. Now you see, this is a study conducted by National Productivity Council. This is a three-tier data center. Three-tier data center means a refinery. This is a refinery data center. It will be having 3 standby arrangements for everything, because all the data of the refinery will be collected here, right? And this center is having, you can just see the figure I'm showing with my cursor. It is having 3 floors, first floor, second floor, third floor, and it is having 3 chillers. As I told you before, you see 220 TR chillers are available. 3 chillers. That means it requires only 1 chiller, but 3 chillers it is having, and it is having primary chilled water pumps. These are called as primary chilled water pumps, which pumps the water back to the chiller, and the pumps below are the secondary chilled water pumps. Now you see here, all the chillers are around 220 TR capacity. 220 TR capacity. Now, after the chiller, this is the working chiller. At the chilled water, that means the cooled water at 8 degrees centigrade is going back to the buildings, taking all the heat from the buildings, coming back to the chiller. Again, it gets cooled, the cycle repeats. Now you see, this is not a normal small unit. This is a very renowned unit in India. Since I have a certain confidentiality included here, I'm not able to say the name of the unit. One of the major PSU. You see, if I am using this chiller, the return water is coming at 12 degrees centigrade. Going out is coming at 8 degrees centigrade. Now the 8 degrees centigrade water has to go back to my building. But if you see here, the water is going at 10.61. That means immediately after my chiller, there is a drop of 2 degrees centigrade, and the capacity is 220 TR. When we started investigating, our team found out that the other 2 chillers, the valve should be closed. But you see, the water is going even to the non-working chillers and adding load, and it is gaining heat. When we told, and it looks very simple, is it happening? But this is a real-time case study which we have submitted to the famous companies of air conditioners are maintaining this system. Now you see the temperature is coming at around 10 degrees centigrade. When we have checked it, now the temperature, you see, when we close it, these valves, the water is not going to this. Now the temperature is 9.3. And now what is the saving achieved? Now you just see, you will be surprised with 2 degrees centigrade, what will be the change in, what will be the savings that they can achieve. But you see here, the compressor chiller is consuming around 125 kilowatt. This is per hour. I am just minding you people that this is consuming only for 1 hour, 125. And after change, it is consuming around 119. That means 6 kilowatt. Nothing we did, no investment. And what is the effect on the pump operation? Only one pump is required to pump. And now you see there is a the two pump operation is being reduced to one pump. That means another 6 kilowatt. So now you just think 12 kilowatt just by closing a valve, it is coming, and this works for 24 hours and around 300 days. Now you assume how much is the energy bill they are adding. So such type of small changes can be adopted in your operational changes without any investment. You can get very good savings. Now, what are the normal pitfalls? That means people just think ISO 50001 is a standard that has to be maintained in records. But what happens? Some people will make the system too complex. System is designed very well. You have to know your own boundary. You can apply even to one complex of your building, one floor of your building, or even one wing of your building. And slowly you can improve floor wise, building wise, throughout the complete complex. But normally people start, the inexperienced people, normally people will come to NPC because we have the experience of implementing or guiding such type of studies from past 30-40 years. So instead of making a system very complex, let us design a very small step-by-step manner so that you will get the returns very easily. Focusing on doing but not keeping on the records. Normally people would like to, there is a traditional way of saying that ISO is only for records. If you really manage, if you really try to implement, ISO 50001 will definitely give you a very good results in your energy management system. Now, not seeing the value of internal audit. Normally, internal audit is being done for external people to come or to keep the main records. If it is being done very strictly, and if it is been, that is the reason all your Japanese concepts have been very popular in Japan, because they take things very seriously, right? Now, legal obligations and other requirements. Identify and have an access to the applicable legal requirements. Legal requirements is you should not get confused with legal things. Like in India, you might be aware that PAT, a scheme is going on: perform, achieve, and trade. This is for industries, and now in the last cycle, they have also added hotels as one of the designated consumer. If you are having a PAT target which needs to be achieved over a period of 3 years, you can easily achieve that target by having a tool of ISO 50001, which can be implemented very easily, and unknowingly, slowly you will be continually improving, and you will achieve the very big target in a small achievements. Information could be achieved from state websites, consultants, professional bodies, right? Like as I told you, PAT is one which is having ECERT, and you have the energy codes, ECBC codes. Now, what we are talking about is the existing buildings. Now, there is a thing come for the buildings which are under construction. Out of the total states in India, Telangana is one state which has already designed ECBC codes and have already implemented. What do you mean by these ECBC codes? Any building which is going to construct in India, any new building has to adhere to the ECBC norms. That means purchasing energy efficiency gadgets in the building. You should have a specified wall which is having a sufficient U factor. You should have double-edged glassing where only light will come inside the house or building. It won't allow heat to be added into that. All these things were there. So each building which has to be suppose if you are going for a municipal authority for approval of your plan, first of all, you should get approval from a third-party assessor who knows this ECBC codes. Once your building is being notified as a energy efficient building, only GHMC or local bodies, local authorities will be going to give approval. Now it is going to come in all the buildings, all the states. Now, what are all the documents required? you have to maintain one energy management manual, a procedural manual, work instructions, and records and formats. Very easy, and it can be easily compatible with other existing systems. Normally, internal audit is being taken, as I told you, in the new version, it is only audit, it is not internal audit. Is the organization's ENMS working is as intended? That means your own people will come and audit whether the objective and targets is being in line, whether whatever I am achieving in my object, in my targets, is moving towards to achieve the target. If so, what is the trend? This internal audit, if you take very seriously, it will definitely move towards achieving the greater objective, right? Are the plans and controls are established by the organization being followed? Is it realistic to expect ENMS will achieve in the stated objectives? Once you conduct an internal audit, there will be a management review. That means your top management will sit. It will collect the inputs like follow-up action, what review of the energy policy. Suppose out of very ambitious this thing, you might have thought I will reduce 10%, but maybe after 6 months you achieved that only 2% is able to achieve, another 6 months is left out. So you can review your objective. Let us keep only 5% or 6%. That is also possible. Review of your energy performance and related ENPIs, that is energy performance index, right? Energy performance index is a figure. You can see that how much kilowatt your building consuming per square meter. How much kilowatt your building consuming. The lesser the kilowatt per square meter, the more efficient the building is, right? Then recommendations for improvement or projects for energy performance for the next period, what we are going to see for the next period, right? All these things will be the inputs for your management review, and the output will be changes in the organization's energy policy if required, then changes in energy performance index if it is required, and allocation of resources. Now there is a thing called as non-conformity. Non-conformity is not the deviation from your targets. It is not fulfilling the specific requirement. So normally non-conformity, people think that it is you're deviating from your target or from your objective. It is not so. There are certain requirements for your standard. If you are not able to fulfill that requirement, not the objective or target, just the requirement, failure of the requirement, that will become a non-conformity. You can take an observation of it, and that can be used for your improvement of your this thing. Now, what is the role of employees? First of all, people should know what is their knowledge energy policy. Being aware of the boundary. Boundary is the major thing, because what is the boundary that we have considered? Suppose for your this thing, National Quality Council has taken has helped Ordnance Factory Sangareddy to implement ISO 50001 EnMS 2018 2011. In that, the boundary is not the company's ordnance factory. The boundary is only the manufacturing unit. No administration block has been covered. No housing complex has been covered, because they felt that they have a better control in this region. So they would, and they also felt that this is the major energy saving area that they can. Now, once contribution in internal customers, quality and procedure manual to be followed, and following all work instructions is very much important. Then record keeping is one major area. So ISO 50001 EnMS, and especially in the building sector, where there is a tremendous growth of around 35 to 40% of energy in the commercial buildings, plays a vital role to reduce the energy consumption without much addition of your investment. So NPC is there to assist you or help you in this. Already we have implemented in the GMR airport of Hyderabad. We have assisted them. We have assisted ordnance factories, and we have assisted in implementing energy audit for major clients.